Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we finally have the updated version of 6 Samurais. Now, as you may have seen from the thumbnail and the title, yes, I've included a very cheap meta card that can shut down any deck, no matter what. Actually, it has an issue only against something you love a lot, and it's Magical Musketeer. Against that, my secret tech card doesn't do anything, but against all the others, it just shuts them down. But before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with Yusei Fudo, and actually, let me say first that I forgot to reach the master rank in the Turbo Duel Grand Prix, so I missed on some gems, I guess. I don't think there were more than 200 maybe, but still it was very tough loss to deal with. I realized this today, that the event ended. I wasn't expecting that. I was sure I had more time. Anyway, let's go into the deck list. As you can see, actually I don't know if I have put that in the thumbnail, but the card I'm talking about is Summon Breaker. Why this card shuts down every deck? Because it limits the amount of summons you can do to actually 2. Because if you do the third one, you're screwed. I mean, you're not screwed, but it becomes the end phase. So any summon, actually, maybe you can just link one monster. You can have a link one monster, a summon, but nothing more than that. Because if you just attempt to go into a link 2, you require 2 monsters. So first summon, second summon, and then link 2, and you're gone. It's the end phase. Exceed summon, first monster, second monster, exceed summon, end phase. Synchro summon, first monster, second monster, synchro summon. It's over. So this was just so good. So I know tons of you are just leaving a comment right here, writing MST. I know that, of course, if your opponent has an MST, but any turn 1, of course, can be dead against an MST if you're playing traps, or against a Book of Moon if you're playing a negation through a monster, or against a Forbidden Chalice if you're playing a link monster to negate like a Gookies do. So actually, we don't need those type of comments, right? We know. But why I'm saying this is a very good tech card to use, because, for example, of course, you could play the Cancerous Trap that are limited 3. I'm talking about EDP, Ice Dragon Prison. I'm talking about Crackdown. I'm talking about Compulsory Evacuation Device. You can surely play that, right? But the point is, those cards will lose to an MST as well, right? We can agree with that, but the point is that those cards are really powerful, but they require actually something like Ice Dragon Prison requires your opponent to have a monster in the graveyard. Compulsory actually requires as Crackdown requires a monster to be targetable, and actually even if you activate those, you're not sure to survive. But with Summon Breaker, you're sure to survive, because if your opponent just summons a third monster, it becomes the end phase. There's nothing you could do, no battle phase, nothing to respond to. So after this little prologue on the Summon Breaker and why I love this card, also because it's so freaking cheap, like it's a common card, and you can find it if you wanna see it in Secret Dimensions mini box, and it was actually reprinted in Future Circuit. So then it comes to the classic 6 Samurais. Not gonna lie, the deck is very good alone. It does not need to be mashed up with nothing, because the big issue was a missing on Sanshin's Dojo that makes the legendary 6 Samurai Shiin even more consistent, because that is what we're talking about. And then I decided, instead of playing, of course, the 6 Saldial Weed and playing the Expandable, I needed a trap card, or actually a let's say a back row, but in general we needed a way to survive when we didn't get any monster, because the only issue that can happen to this deck is when you break and you draw no monster, because if you just draw one monster with any other spell card, like with the reinforcement, you can go into your Xian. If you draw any of the spell cards, you're gonna summon another monster. If you draw your 6-star duel wield, you're even better, because you can just leave your monster in attack position and then use a 6-star duel wield to bounce 2 cards your opponent controls. So definitely perfect, right? So how do we survive when our opponent, when actually we do not have any monster? Summon Breaker. I tried the version even with Expendable Day, right? But the issue with Expendable Day is that is another card that requires you to have a monster, and that actually won't have, that increases the break, because if you draw that, the 6-star duel wield and any of these spell card, you can't do nothing, and I wanted just something that gave me a chance, you know, and Summon Breaker was the answer, and it really did work. For the extra deck, guys, we only have a couple of Xian. I don't think the third is needed, but I actually anyway do not have it. If you have it, you can take into account putting the third in, but I never summoned the third one. Then I have a Crocodile Dragon that can be a nice interruption, plus double draw, why not? We have classic level 4s, because why not? We have the special summon of the Secret of the Samurai plus Kizan, so two easy special summon that can lead us into an Xyz rank 4. So Dueler to stop Gookies, Roach to stop Mechnoids, and Rebellion as genetic stuff. You can always play Malevolent Sin, but I prefer to do this. Also, I have Brood Enforcer and Link Disciple just to get rid of Ibly that I happen to see a lot on the ladder. And then Brood Enforcer because sometimes you just have more monsters on the field and you need to have stuff in the graveyard in order to trigger the effect of Inishi. And why that? Brood Enforcer can also discard card from your hand in order to trigger that, and there's always, you know, a guide that can pop a monster or a face-up card on the field, so why not? The skill, just the Tie That Binds. I honestly didn't find anything to play the reinforcement stuff. I thought about a version of playing with reinforcement and some Entrap, but that just didn't feel right, so I just decided to go with this. I hope you like this deck. Is definitely CAG worthy. I reached Legend Rank 2, then I actually started testing other stuff and I ranked down again. So if you check my status, I'm still Legend Rank 1 because I'm going up and under, but this was the one that made me rank up. And guys, that is all for the explanation. Of course, if you have some questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. We still have the replays. Here we go, my boys. First replay against Yugi. Let's see what we have here. So it's us to go first. Not the best hand to begin with, because we have the only guy that cannot be special summoned. So Fuma, then I risked it to grab Kizan, and I was so lucky to draw it. So here comes the feast of drawing, as you can see. Xian, and we have the wield, we have our secret tech card. So keep in mind that with Xian, actually I forgot to mention it into the Decklist breakdown, we have actually one negation if he tries to pop the Summon Breaker, so we're in a very good spot. So he's got Gamma to summon the Beta, and here comes the Spice. He can't do anything else, because if he sees summon, he becomes the end phase. He went for it, and there you go. Has it Golem, end phase. There's nothing he could do. No, he can't attack. End phase. I could still do something in the end phase. Just bounce a couple of those, and we're chilling. Then, in this case, guys, I actually misplayed because I used Dojo. I summoned my Inishi. At this point, I should have just used the effect of Dojo to summon my Fuma. Then, with Tie That Binds with Fuma, I would have had enough attack to have lethal, but I misplayed. So never mind with that. Still, we're in a good spot because we have the negation. He can go over 3 summon, and we have Inishi's effect still. He went with Berserkian, as you can see right there. Of course, banish 3, but as soon as he enters the battle phase, we just made that come back to hand. At this point, we can use Fuma Fuma summons, he went for Rainbow Life. I had to negate that because I didn't want him to survive this turn. And then no response, just second Xian, and he's got nothing more to do because we have a second Spell Chop negation. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys, against a balanced Yami Yugi. This is actually good hand because thanks to reinforcement. So this is the only, as I told you during the deck's breakdown, Magical Musketeer are the only deck that can actually don't give a freak about the Summon Breakers. There was a dead card in this case. So we got Fuma to begin with, and I just went of course with 6 Samurai United and then my Fuma in attack position, and honestly I didn't want to risk it as I was sure to survive this, so I went with the Fiendish Steel. I went with the Duel Wielder to make both the monster come back to hand. He wasted his normal summon, so I can't do nothing more. We actually got another Fuma, so I summoned it to go with my double draw, but I was unlucky, no Kizan for me. So I'm stuck with the double Summon Breakers. I just attacked at this point. I don't care because we have the effect of Fuma to survive with. Also, usually Magical Musketeer do not have those insanely great attack, so we should be chilling. We went with Desperado to pop the first one, and then as soon as he activated the effect of Caspar, he actually used Cross Domination to negate this, because I think maybe he thought that this was the one that activated its effect and not the one in the graveyard, so I guess he does not know 6 Samurais. So Dual Wield, there you go, chained because I have only one monster. The normal summon is back to hand. I also get my legendary secret. Now there's nothing he could do, as you can see. Now it's my turn. I have another dojo. As you can see, Xian is here. Very nice, but still we have not enough stuff to go on with. He simply scooped, but I didn't have lethal anyway. We had now the Spell Trap negation, and also if he tries to pop the Xian, we can pop instead Fuma, and with the effect of Xian, and brings out Inishi. So that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Here we go, my boys. Interrupting a rank up. Let's see what we have. 30 cards. What? It's us to go first. We have an insane hand. Any level 4 monster plus dojo means Xian, and we have a couple of Pot of Greed. So we can just go on with the secret, using dojo's effect to summon the Fuma. Then first the double draws, just in case we draw another 6 Samurai United. There you go. So that was definitely the right choice. And then we went for Xian, and also I used 6 Samurai Unite just because now the point was you either summon Kizan to draw 2, but then if you draw the Wield, it becomes a dead card because you're gonna have 2 monsters on the field, or you risk it with 1 draw, hoping it to be Dual Wield, and it was exactly what I did. So just one, so I had both Wield and Summon Breaker. Very nice turn 1. He went with Book of Moon to begin with, and Xian was that. Then he went with Typhoon, but as you can see right there, if you see Summon Breaker, you just can't go for the back row, because Summon Breaker is just too much to handle for any deck, so he had to pop that. He was actually pretty lucky to have both the Book of Moon and Typhoon. So it is Spell of Roses, because of course a Synchro deck couldn't do a thing against a Summon Breaker. So he went with the Rox Rose Dragon, using searching for Buzzer Rose Shoot. Buzzer Rose Shoot to summon the White Rose Dragon from the graveyard. Duel with easy to put everything back to hand. Then we have Dojo again, special summon of Kizan, so this is happening without normal summon. Dojo to of course bring out another Fuma. He's got Buzzer Rose Shoot, and I was baited, guys, but because I did not expect this. I mean, who plays Half-Life Party in a Rose Dragon, right? So he baited me. I negated the Buzzer Rose Shoot, and he was safe for this turn. I went for the Xian, but at this point I'm in trouble, because if he managed to go into a Black Rose Dragon, I could end up with nothing. But instead, look at this. I don't know why. He had a very nice play to go with. I mean, he could have gone with setting this. You could have set this Black Rose Dragon, pop everything, and the Black Rose Dragon that comes back to attack, actually. I could have survived still because I had Fuma, so to bring out another monster next turn, but Instead he goes with this no sense play, Buzzar's shoot. Of course I negated that, and then he went for Yazi, Evil the Yanzing. That is okay, a good thing, but still next turn I was lucky to draw Inishi, but anyway, even with Fuma I could just tie that binds and attack. Now I have a Spell Trap Interruption and Negation and Inishi to bounce a monster back to hand. He went with the Rocket Tracer, uses the effect I chained my Inishi's effect to bounce that back to hand, and at this point there's nothing you could do. So these feel like bad news. Yes, it does. We could just attack through it, and that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. For Duel, my boys, against Ishizu, let's see what we have. It's us to go first. We have a couple of summons, but we know Dojo, there's gonna be no Shien, right? So we just went with a couple of guys, 4 draws as you can see, and we were kinda lucky right here because we draw Dojo, another Kizan, so we could trigger this, then first Xyz summon into Dueler to stop the graveyard's effect, and at this point Dojo to bring out Fuma, to have the 6 Samurai of course, so we have the Summon Breaker as well, so no summons for him, no effect from the graveyard, and Spell Trap Negation. This seems like a pretty good board, right? It actually started with, it was Magical Musketeers, of course, that they do not care about either Summon Breaker, either Abyss Dueler, so he was so lucky right here, this guy. So he just punished everything, and I knew he wanted to bait me with this, so I didn't negate that, of course. Then he attacked, he used the Forbidden Lens, and even with that, actually, it was not enough. I don't know why he tried to bait me with that. So then he activates Cross Domination, I can just negate that, but still, he has something else, because he has, I think, another one, but the issue is that he used Forbidden Lens. So he made me unaffected. I don't know why he did this. He could have just used a couple of Cross Domination to go through my 6 Samurai Shien. Instead he just went, I don't know why. And he completely, I mean, this was just a fun one that I had to show you. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Lashed but not leashed, interrupting a 5-win streak against Infernoid, of course, right? It's us to go first. Perfect hands, we have everything. So again, Enforcement of the Army to grab any level 4. I actually want to keep on the Kizan in the deck so that you can draw them and special summon them in a second moment. So Secret to trigger Dojo, to summon Fuma. First 6 Samurai United, there you go. We draw 2. A couple of Kizan, maybe 2 is just too much, also because we don't need them, right? So we're chilling right here. It just starts with the a tone that he just wanted to attack. I mean, God, who does not know we have dual wield? I know why he said that, but anyway, we can just make everything come back to hand. He's got Void Seer, but he forgot I can negate, so no Void Seer for me, so just negate it. He attributed himself at least to banish a monster from my graveyard, but yet that was not enough at this point, and we could just 6 Samurai United, double Kizan, special summon of course, double draw with Pot of Greed, normal summon Fuma, second Shien. You also have another dual wield that would be actually not usable, but we have more than 7k damage that I think is more than enough to take care of this Infernoid player. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. So guys, that was all for today's video. Tomorrow, guys, we're gonna have, I think for sure, all the anniversary stuff with the Dark Magician Instructor deck. So if he actually, if he drops a reasonable hour, we could actually end up streaming. So stay tuned for that, because I might stream the new stuff with Dark Magician. We're gonna test that together to see what we can come out with. And nothing, guys, that was all for 6 Samurai's videos today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and if you're gonna use my secret tech card, Summoned Breaker. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.